And I'm back with the beginning, like I said, YouTube. To my channel. Welcome to my channel, man. Subscribe, like, however they go. Like I say, I'm new to it, so just bear with me. And I'm coming with the beginning today, man. I know it's gonna be brief, but just coming up in the small town of Jackson, man, being rough, man, and losing my mom at like 12, and coming up with my grandparents, man. My dad not really never been there, and I'm coming up with my grandfather, man, who owned two auto shops, teaching me about tools, man, and also took me all the way, my grandmother family taking me all the way back to the country, man, out in Bolton, Mississippi, man, where we learned how to saddle horses, man, and ride donkeys, different stuff like that, man, fucking around. But that just give you an insight, man, of where you know where I'm built from, man, where I come from, man. I ain't built off my biological father because he was never in my life, but my grandparents was my mother and father, man. So I was pretty much kind of, rough coming up, man. My grandparents were there for us real tough, man. We had a little more than other ones. So, we was able to do things, kind of get away with stuff. And I pushed it to the max, man, even to the point to where, man, I was in trouble at 14, man. We was involved with a robbery that led to a murder. And I went out to serve like 12 and a half years, man. Like I said, that was just like another journey that I went on to growing up. But before then, you know, that was school, where I was in trouble for school, stealing cars and high speed chases and different stuff like that, man. Just being a boy, man, stealing cars, man. Like remembering when I wanted to lie and different stuff like that, lying to my grandparents about what we doing, where we at, what we was involved in, man. And it took me through all that to get me where I am today because like, back then, growing up, I didn't care, so I made these careless decisions. I made these radical moments like to live life on the edge, the fast and the furious. So man, I did that, man, and I I I made a decision that cost me a lot of my life, man, and I spun in jail, man. I went through jail, I went to prison, man. Mississippi State Penitentiary, um, George County, Lucedale, Mississippi, Lexington, Mississippi, Holmes County, Raymond, Mississippi, and Hines County Detention Center. Um, and just you float, man, and you grow up in these places, man, and you don't know these people, and you left to not know how to feel, not feel nothing, because you all around strangers. So, it just took me going through all that, man, learning who God was, learning what my passion was. I always want the right. I always want the right, and when I said that I want the right, man, I want to be able to. When I thought about writing, I said to myself, I still remember telling myself, man, I want to be able to write a letter to the president, man. I used to think to be able to write a letter to the president, you had to be like a fucking expert at writing, you know what I'm saying? But like that's what I thought about the president growing up, but I'm in jail. I'm going to prison. I'm on my way. And man, I started writing, and man, that was my passion. And I started on my. I eventually, throughout doing years, I started on my autobiography while I was incarcerated, and and man, I kept writing, and then after technology grew, and it came up ways that you can talk to people verbally. Like right now, I got I want to build a platform, inspiration platform, like a positive platform to show people what I did, where I came from, the decision I made, how long I did, like what the odds were against me, and then boom, you know, you own your own home, your vehicles. I have several vehicles. You know, man, it's a lot of inspiration to me. It's a lot of motivation to me, and I want to share it. I want to save somebody. I want to tell somebody. Like I always want to do that. Like I want to stand up and say, look, man, I used to be ashamed to do something like this, but now look, man, for to save somebody, and for somebody not to feel what I felt, man, to go through what I went through, man, please, man, let me just tell you this story. So like that's what my page gonna be about. That's what my channel gonna be about. So just stay tuned, man. For real, get at me. This D Mac channel, man. Subscribe, like, man, and just keep up, man. I'm gonna keep dropping.